What is up, guys? Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm gonna talk about what I think is probably the best overall tactical 22 pistol, and I'm gonna talk about what I like and how I set mine up. So first off, we're talking about the FN502. Let me show you the case it comes in real quick. Kind of a simple case, but still good quality, hard case. Good padding in here. So it comes with a lock and some paperwork, but the cool thing is it comes with different base plates and they all come with the rear sights kind of integrated to that. I'm not gonna get into every single detail, but I'll just go over some of the main features that I like about it. So for one, it comes with a 10-round magazine and a 15-round magazine. The 15-round one is the one that sticks out a little, which looks kind of cool, and they slide right out super easily, which is nice. The magazines also come with an indicator for how many rounds you have, but also a little thumb tab to be able to assist in, loading, which is nice because when you're shooting all day, any little thing like that just helps, kind of make it easier on you. It also comes with a threaded barrel. It just has this little thread protector, and so if you already own a 22 suppressor, which I already did, you can just thread that right off and put your can on there. And obviously shooting 22 suppressed is just one of the most fun things you can do when it comes to shooting, at least in my opinion. Comes with the suppressor height sights, so you can kind of see over your suppressor, which is nice if you don't have a red dot. But obviously, that's also one of the cool parts about this gun is you can just throw on any red dot that you like. So I threw on the Holosun 407C, and I'll get back to that in a second. It also has a little rail here to be able to put a light, which I don't have yet, but maybe I'll get one soon. I love the texturing of the grip. I just think it looks really nice and it feels good, and it has this more aggressive, like stippled feel right here on both sides, which is nice for your thumb to rest right there. I don't think this thing's gonna be popping out of your hands, even with high velocity rounds or anything like that, but it's still nice. It just makes it comfortable, and the thing's not going anywhere. Nice. This thing's got like no recoil. It's just super smooth. Oh, and I really like the serrations on here. They're nice and aggressive, and then, you can actually use them. Even though I do have a red dot, and so I can kind of just use this to rack the slide. It's just kind of fun sometimes to use the front of it like this if I'm doing a press check or if I am just racking the slide. And I forgot to mention, it is a hammer-fired gun. It does have a ambi safety. I'll pop it up on this side and you'll see it popping up on your end. And that obviously just kills the trigger, so you can see the hammer is not dropping. Oh, and it does have a pretty nice trigger for a stock gun like this. I have shot the 509, which is a 9mm version, which is meant to be more of a duty gun. My friend has that one, and it's a great gun overall, but to me the trigger is just way too heavy, and I don't know, it's not the greatest stock trigger. But again, it's meant to be a duty trigger, and I kind of understand. This guy is not meant for that role, and so they kind of went out of their way to lighten it up and just make it way crisper. And I think also being hammer fired, that system's a little different than striker fired, so they're able to kind of put a nicer trigger in there. And you don't typically want to dry fire your 22s, but just for the sake of this video, I'll show you. So wall, and I'm just gonna push a little, and the brake. So it's actually really nice. It's kind of a long reset because it does take you all the way back. So I guess there is a bit of over travel. Yeah, pretty long reset, but everything else about it, really nice, crisp. So yeah, I like the trigger a lot, and I think it really adds to the fun of shooting this gun. Other than that, I just love the look of it. Now we'll get to why you might want this or some of the different reasons for wanting it. But real quick, let me go over my accessories. Okay, I've got my suppressor right here. Let's talk about my little red dot. So again, this is the 407C by Holosun, 407C X2. It has a red dot, 2 MOA to be specific, so it's very, very small and precise. I personally don't have any issue seeing it. Some people on a pistol like a larger dot, which I can see the advantage to that, like a 6 MOA dot or something, because it's so much larger and you're typically shooting at shorter distances with a pistol. But since it's shooting 22 and I wanted to try and be as accurate as possible, I went ahead and got that very precise dot. And I still think it's pretty easy to find because of how bright you can make it if you want. So if you don't know much about the Holosun red dots, they're ultra reliable. This has 50,000 hours of battery life. Plus on the top here, you have your kind of like backup fail-safe solar power system. So you've got that solar panel on the top. I mean, I don't think there's too much to say about it other than It's a good red dot. The battery compartment's on the side, which is nice because you don't have to take off the entire thing and then re-zero when you put it back on, like some dots that have the battery compartment on the bottom. This one on the side, little tray just pops out and you change the battery. Your brightness is on the side and everything's just accessible. So simple, easy. I love this red dot. Highly recommend. I can't put links to much when it comes to gun related content on YouTube, but if I can find an Amazon link for this, I'll go ahead and put that in the description down below. That way you don't get confused because Holosun just has so many different models of red dots and pistol dots and all that. I'll try and find this exact one and put it down there. That way, if you're interested, you can just click on that link and it'll take you straight to where you can buy it. And I do get a small kickback from Amazon at no additional cost to you, so I would appreciate that. It does kind of help support, you know, the 2A movement anytime you're growing these YouTube channels, because YouTube, their algorithm doesn't like to kind of spread this message for the most part. So I would highly appreciate that. And as for the suppressor that I use, same one I use on my super kind of like custom 1022 setup, which if you haven't seen that video, you should definitely go check it out. That's my most viewed video. I'll put a link at the end of this video so you can click on that if you're interested, because that one's really cool setup as well. And I use this suppressor on there. Pretty cool. I like this suppressor because it's nice and slim, compact. Obviously you can see that the iron sights and red dot easily clear that. Even if you didn't have the red dot, you could still shoot with this, which is the whole point of this setup, which is part of why I really like this gun, because for the price, it just comes fully set up basically. You just have to add couple accessories which you might already own if you're really into 22s. And if you're wondering what the can is, this is the Dead Air Mask. I won't do a full review obviously, but I'll just say that I don't know if there's a better 22 suppressor out there. Maybe in the last year or two there's been newer ones that have come out. I wouldn't really know because I haven't been shopping for one, but at the time that I bought this a couple years ago, I don't think there was a better one out there based off all my research. And honestly, it hasn't let me down at all. Everything I read about it has been accurate so far. It looks cool, it's slim, and it's lightweight, which is nice. As for reliability, I've shot this guy with all kinds of different ammo, supersonics, standard velocity, subsonics, suppressed, unsuppressed. I've shot around probably 600 rounds. I don't know exactly, but that's just kind of my guesstimate. I've only had one situation where the gun wasn't running. It ran with everything that I put through it unsuppressed, but then suppressed is where we did have a little bit of a problem, but it was still very minor. So I shot standard velocity fine, suppressed. High velocity with the suppressor was fine. I shot 3 different kinds of like specifically suppressor ammo. One of them was just this CCI subsonic. It's just a 40 grain lead hollow point, and yeah, that ran fine the entire time. I personally like to get away from these lead exposed round bullets. If you can get a copper jacketed round or something. In general, I just like to limit, you know, all the toxic metals and fumes and things that over time, years and decades of shooting, I don't want to end up, you know, sick from it. So I got 2 other kinds of subsonic ammo that have a copper jacket. That way you're just a little bit less exposed to the lead. If you can limit your risk, you know, it's always a good thing, which is why I also use non-toxic cleaning solutions and oils. If you're interested, I'll throw those down below. They work really great. The lubricant's made by Geisley. And then the other one, I don't remember the name, I'll throw it down there, but it's what I use for all my cleaning. And it works great, and it doesn't smell like fumes because it's non-toxic, so you can do it in the middle of your living room, and you're not gonna feel like you're just drugging yourself with fumes. As for the other subsonic rounds, one of them was this Federal Suppressor 45 grain ammo, which does have a copper plated bullet, which is nice. So it's a little better for you, I guess. And the third one that I shot, it's kind of cool looking. It's got a nice box, but it's this Winchester suppressed ammo. And this one's also 45 grain, and it has what they call a black copper plated nose. So the CCI and the Federal both worked great. If you're looking for one where you're less exposed to lead, I would recommend this Federal stuff. It worked great, and this is probably what I'm gonna be shooting the most of now. The one that I had the issues with was the Winchester. I shot about 60 rounds and didn't have a single malfunction, but then I shot some of this other stuff, and I think after the gun maybe got a little drier, a little dirtier from shooting all day, it didn't wanna cycle with this one. So it still kept cycling with these other 2 rounds, but with this Winchester, I don't know, I guess it just needs to be ultra clean or something. But other than that one specific scenario where I'm shooting this exact ammo with the suppressor after shooting a bunch all day, suppressed and unsuppressed, that was the only time I had malfunctions. So as for reliability, I would still consider this thing super reliable. And if you don't own a suppressor, you probably won't even come across that problem because again, unsuppressed, it just shot everything. So most 22s can be a little finicky. Overall, I think this one's well above average for a 22 pistol. And I do think that it's reliable enough to where if this was the only gun that you owned, you could use it as like your bedside home defense gun. You just would want to run like a supersonic round or something that, you know, is gonna have no issue cycling. Now, as for who should buy this gun or what you might want it for me, this was mostly a fun gun. There's not too many things that are more fun than 22, but especially a suppressed 22 pistol with a red dot. But also this gun's really good for training because since you are shooting 22, it's not gonna cost you very much to shoot all day, and it allows you to kind of practice the fundamentals of shooting. And so it's a great fun gun, it's a great training gun. It's also a great little survival gun, I guess you could say, because I mean, you take this guy off, or you could even leave it on. You can just shove this in a backpack, and if you're going backpacking or something and you want to be able to maybe hunt squirrels or small game, this is a good little gun for that. You're not going to disturb nature with, you know, because you have the suppressor, so it's quiet. You're not going to draw any attention to yourself. Most suppressed guns still make a good amount of noise, but a suppressed 22 is one of those few guns that legitimately just doesn't really make any noise. I mean, the gun cycling, and that's pretty much it. So it would make for a great backpacking gun or survival gun. Just throw it in your pack and you're good to go. And again, because the ammo is so small and lightweight, you can carry a lot of it. Easily bring 100 rounds with you. Say you have 2 full magazines in one of these, you know, you're set right there. So in my opinion, there's just a ton of reasons to want to get a setup like this. Fun being the #1 for me. For you, it might be something else. Either way, they're all a good excuse to go out and get something like this. Plus, it's very affordable compared to like a larger caliber handgun with all the same similar setup, because the gun itself doesn't cost much. 22 suppressors are gonna cost less than like a 9mm suppressor, and so on and so forth. If you're wondering how much it cost, I believe I got mine for $399, but I've seen them for anywhere between $400 and $450. So very good price for all the features that it comes with. With all that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching till the end. And if you enjoyed the video or got anything out of it, definitely hit the like button. Super simple thing. It takes about 1 second. It actually makes a big difference for my channel. So I would highly appreciate that. And if you like this kind of content, like anything that has to do with gun reviews, outdoor gear, definitely subscribe. I've got a good amount of videos on my channel already, and I'll be putting out a lot more in the future. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.